8.9.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to Island Tea, right here on with Media SKN with your faves, Kevin and Azem featuring Jade, Gwen, Idita, CPL, Crescent Crude, Matthew Stewart Johnson. Jade, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. You know what? It's Friday.
Finally.
Oh, yeah, the week done, yeah. The week done and
Next week is December.
what? But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Vibes.
Hey, you're saying this morning, if I were to really take time and try and look back over this year, I really don't. It just kind of ran into. We almost felt like 3 long months.
Bye.
It almost felt like 3 long months. The way things just kind of all work, kind of run into the other. But yeah, on a micro level, like I said, it's Friday. Generally, Jade, people look at this as a time to get some rest, relax. I am looking at
Who is those people?
People with 9 to 5s and stuff like that, and like more traditional jobs and so. I think
So that ain't got to do with us.
that ain't got nothing to do with us. As a matter of fact, I am dreading. I'm dreading this weekend. Like, December time gets busy for persons depending on what you're into.
Oh, I was supposed to call back somebody that is related to December.
Oh. Yeah, you're slacking.
Bye.
Yeah, you're lapsing, Jade.
The brain.
Yeah, you're brain. But yeah, so idea watching like Bavacha this weekend starting this weekend.
Okay.
Starting this
What we
weekend.
starting?
Busy times all through till January. Yesterday you hear me trying to discuss and figure out how I can move between islands during December, New Year's, and like you already start.
Well, the good thing about that is it's a holiday, which means you won't have to be coming here. So technically, ain't much of a rush.
What? No, that ain't the issue, no, Jane.
Okay, well,
That ain't the issue. The issue ain't how we juggle island tea. The issue is.
No, I meant just juggling in period.
Oh, that's one less thing to juggle.
Yes. The bright side.
Look at the bright side.
Indeed.
Wow. Indeed. But what going on in your life, Jane?
What do you mean? You hear something?
No, just. Wow. Wow.
Just making sure I walk away here on the road.
Hold on there.
You was wondering if they could hear us too?
No, I was wondering if we. Yep, I think they're trying to come in.
No, we're not trying.
We not trying. We asked for a countdown and y'all not following instructions. See, y'all like to boof me? I gonna boof y'all this morning. Happy Friday.
Hold on.
With Genevieve, really just didn't hear this now.
Oh, yeah, he
What's
did
that?
message. Sorry.
What's that? Oh, you just read the message.
Yes, I did.
Mm.
And since we're here cussing, can you follow protocol and kindly turn on your camera, please?
I can't see you.
So?
I can't see you. That's not fair.
So?
We want to be able to see you.
I don't know.
We're working on it.
But why would you want to see us? We just little old us.
Yeah, well, I'm just. Well,
Exactly.
I'm just little old me. I'm just little old me. Yes. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday,
Azam.
man.
Happy Friday, Jade.
Happy Friday to you as well, sir.
And I'm going to introduce our very special guest. Mr. Kwasi Tung began his educational journey at the Liberta Primary School, and I can just hear the voices over in Liberta raising a glass of champagne. Anyway, before he attended the All Saints Secondary School, of course, he attended the Liberta Primary School, obviously, primary before secondary. After stints at the High Court and property valuation, he joined the Antigua and Barbuda Defense Force and the Office of National Drug and Money Laundering Control Policy, which is known as the ONDCP, which spanned 9 years. In the United Kingdom, he pursued undergraduate degrees from Lewisham College and Greenwich University in Business Information Technology, a certificate in Systems Analysis from Westminster University, and an MSc from Herefordshire University in Computer Science. He's also a former senior lecturer in computing at the Antigua State College and holds a postgraduate diploma in secondary education from the University of the West Indies. He's currently employed as the Learning Support and IT Officer at the University of the West Indies, Five Islands campus, and also sits on the Disability Planning Committee. And more to the point of why he's joining us this morning and what is going to be the focus of our discussion, he is a PhD candidate where he is conducting research in disability studies, specifically the social model of disability, a phenomenal study of the lived experiences of persons living with an impairment caused by spinal injury in the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, or OECS. His research interests are inclusivity, phenomenology, I hope I have that word right, he'll correct me on the other side, in disabled individuals, and the social model of disability. He has 2 daughters and is a fan of all things aviation, so we certainly have something in common. I just want to say a special good morning to you, Kwasi Tung. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Observer AM and the regional link-up specifically.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, you guys can hear. So y'all seeing me now, and you're seeing Kwasi. We are not seeing you guys. Y'all are gonna. I'm coming over to St. Kitts for y'all to treat me, house me, and look after me and help sort out my my St. Kitts passport. Anyway, Kwasi, good morning.
Morning, Darren. How are you?
Again, I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to quiz you, sort of. But you're accustomed to that. You're a PhD candidate after all. Add a little meat to the bone of what I just said in terms of my introduction. And of course, we'll have our questions. I'm sure Jade and Azam will have their questions, as will I.
Okay, so good morning, everybody, those who are listening online and on radio. All right, so my research is basically rounding persons who would have suffered a spine injury, specifically within the OECS. The countries that the research is centered around is the host country, Antigua, of course, and also St. Kitts. And I do also have participants in St. Lucia. Persons might ask, my first set of degrees were in information technology, and so why am I leaning towards social science right now? Well, the simple answer is personal interest and personal experience. A few years ago, I damaged my back, my lower spine, had was to do spine surgery and all that stuff. So while in the UK and I was doing my my rehab and all that good stuff, it dawned on me that persons who suffered or who are suffering a disability, their stories are not really heard, they're not really explained, and persons normally take advantage or of these people, of not knowing what they go through on a daily basis. So
Mhm.
my research surrounding disability, as I said, start from a personal experience. And but I must say, initially, my initial research was going to be on information technology and persons with disability, marrying um, app development and how mobile applications can assist persons with this. That was my initial thought process. That was into the first year. However, my injury became a bit more serious going into my second year. So it was then I changed totally into the social science and started to do this study on persons who have suffered spine injury, like myself.
Right. So this is part professional, part personal.
That's correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah.
No, I thought that was
Azam?
interesting because as I was listening to the introduction, that in itself was something that stood out to me. That shift, right? And a lot of times that comes out of some personal experience, maybe with someone around you or even yourself, and to hear you speak about your personal journey, it speaks volumes to why you're passionate about what you're doing now. So I think that was
That's correct.
very insightful.
Right.
Right. Yeah, Kwasi, do you have a sense of how many persons within the OECS, based on your study thus far, do you have a sense of how many persons or what percentage of the population would fall within this particular category? Whether, well, of course, not necessarily with spinal injury, although that is your focus, but just generally individuals who are differently abled in some way, shape, or form. Do you have a general sense?
Well, the global stats generally is 15% of the global population is suffering from some sort of disability. And that number increases ever so often because one population growth is the main factor. So if we bring it down closer to the OECS and Antigua, we can say between 15 to 17% of our local population is suffering with some sort of disability. And these disabilities are more so physical, mental, and intellectual. But my studies are focusing on more so the physical part of it initially, because obviously I intend to do post studies as well with other forms of disabilities. So I would say generally around 50% of a country's population would be suffering with some form of disability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understood. How long does this study go for?
Um, I'm just touching on my third year, so I have one more module to
Mm-hmm.
complete. So by summer next year, so I would say another 7 months, I should be defending by I would say July, roughly.
Okay, right. Azam or Jade, any question?
Well, yeah, even that stat, 15 to 17%, it sounds like a huge portion of the population. But when I really stop and think about it, um, there's people, whether it's in my family who are differently abled, or people in my community and friends and stuff like that. So when I really stop and think about it, you recognize just how intertwined persons who are differently abled are in society and in our lives. And I'm here kind of asking myself a question because the fact that that is now like a revelation to me, I'm wondering if wider society sometimes overlooks persons who are differently abled, and perhaps
Sure.
that's one of the reasons why you know perhaps there's not as much attention being paid to some of the things that would make their integration into society easier.
Yeah, especially in the Caribbean. I feel like well, maybe not the entire world, but there are parts of the world that have started moving forward with making sure that when they have buildings or facilities in place to have all of these additions for people who are differently able. But I feel like in the Caribbean, we don't really see that. We don't really see wheelchair ramps. We don't really see rails. We don't see people that actually pay attention to the parking that says for disabled people. So, yeah.
Is,
Well,
is,
if
is this
Yeah.
something that you're seeing in your research, that there's a need for more attention to be paid to the integration in society?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. When I did my first interview with one of the participants from St. Kitts, one of the first thing that she actually said to me was, Kwasi, we need help in the Caribbean. And when she said that, it dawned on me that this is actually true because of several factors. One, I don't think there is enough push by legislators to actually, you know, put meaningful injection of of minds together to allow persons with disabilities to live a regular life. At the end of the day, persons with disabilities are persons like you and I. They're just not able to, I want to say we are not able to function as the quote unquote normal individual. Persons with disabilities are not looking for empathy or sympathy. They are asking for to be included in everything, to be seen as a person, but a person who is not able to function as you are. And there is where the social model of disability, which my area of study is, coming in. So we deal with inclusivity, the ability to, or not the reasonable housing, reasonable education, reasonable healthcare. And these are things that governments within the Caribbean, in my view, and from what my research has unraveled, are not on the forefront of these legislations. Now, my study focused on Antigua, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia. The ratification of the rights of persons with disabilities happened many years ago. St. Kitts signed the ratification. St. Kitts and Antigua signed the ratification 2019, 2017. It was only ratified in Antigua in 2016, made into law in 2017. St. Kitts, however, have not written that into their laws yet. And likewise, St. Lucia. However, they have ratified. And if these ratified signatures within the UN, if these are not put into law, persons with disabilities will just be seen as someone who can't do nothing for themselves. And there is where the issue is. If laws are not made to protect persons with disabilities, they will just be left by the wayside. And that is something that I'm trying to, from my corner, it is going to be a big ask for myself, but I think advocacy and knowledge, creating a knowledge base for communities like Antigua, St. Lucia, and St. Kitts would be a start.
All right. How would you characterize the social model that exists for persons who are differently abled?
The social model deals with everything in society. The ability for an individual to move from one place to another without obstruction, just like how a normal person may be able to move from their house to their car to their place of work. Not being able to, well, discrimination, that's one. Person's point of view, and the responsibility of society to view these people as normal individuals. When we speak about equality and inclusiveness within the workplace, um, in Antigua and in St. Kitts and St. Lucia, you see persons with disabilities all the time on the streets. But are they able to function like you and I? So the social model of disability looks at how society treats these people. And it is saying that people are not disabled because of the impairments. However, people are disabled because of society's inability to adapt to these individuals, creating proper ramps,
That's very
rails,
interesting.
and how we view a person's impairment of their inability to function. And if society in itself don't put these sort of, or let me say, break down these barriers, yeah, persons with disabilities will always be looked at as being persons who are not needed.
Right.
And I use the word not needed because these are words that are coming out of the study that I'm doing with participants. People discriminating them, people rob them, um, 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 stuff like being cursed and robbed. You know, I mean, when you look at it overall, if individuals um, who have a disability are constantly being marginalized, we're marginalized people in society who would have, one, made a contribution, or two, who can continue to make a contribution. But because of society's view, societal norms, individuals would never have the ability to make this contribution. So social model of disability has to deal with one's mentality, how we view other people, and the barriers that needs to be broken down so these people can live better lives.
Very, very interesting. Azam?
Yeah, interesting indeed. I mean, and what I'm hearing is a call for our need for inclusivity, um, first and foremost. And the question is, though, how do we achieve that? Is it a political thing? Is it through widespread education? Is it like, how do we achieve what is necessary for that inclusivity to be a reality?
Well, to start with, I think it comes from legislation. Yeah. Um, Antigua, I would say we would have signed, ratified, and made into law our Disability and Equality Opportunities Act of 2007. But the thing about it, I mean, that's just it. It's just an act. We basically say we are to treat people with disabilities with, and that's it. You know. But at the end of the day, you drive into town and you see the blue markings that says disability parking only. Then you see a nice RAV4 parking there, and then officers pass, they see it, and well, someone who has some sort of insight into what should happen, that individual may get a ticket, but more than often times that doesn't happen. So it goes back to education. Yeah, really goes back to education. And if the society on a whole is not educated on these sort of happenings, these things will just continue to happen. And the disrespect that is meted out to these individuals will continue to happen, and the marginalization and exclusion will continue to happen. And if we do not educate, and I see my research overall is just a genesis to start, or well, not necessarily genesis, because I must say, individuals such as Mr. Warner, Bernard Warner, who has been a constant advocate for disability respect in Antigua. And I think that is the crux of the matter when it comes to disability within the Caribbean, is disrespect that these people face constantly, every day. And not just verbal disrespect, but just a social construct, you know, technology, buildings, roads. I mean, we know that several times when, individual comes off the cruise ships, and they do have a problem in maneuvering with their scooters, with their mobile wheelchairs. And if we don't put these sort of infrastructures in place, and this is not just a Antiguan thing, but it is a issue in St. Kitts, it's an issue in St. Lucia, and it's an issue OECS wide, and I dare say in CARICOM itself. And these are things that needs to be um, um, sorted out as soon as possible.
I know here in St. Kitts we
Yeah.
have a group of individuals. It's I think it's called it's a group for people with
Think it's Nameless Association.
association of persons living with disabilities, right?
Yes,
Um,
I'm familiar with that group, yes.
yeah, and they do a lot of advocacy work on behalf of persons living with disabilities. Is it, the, you spoke about how your work carries on, um, towards the end of this type of inclusivity and recognition. Um, but does a lot of that come from groups like this? Meaning, is it that persons need to organize themselves within the different countries to advocate on their behalf? Is that very important as it relates to pushing this issue forward?
Oh yes, I think one of the first issue is when the when the UN Convention was ratified. Um, that was the first step, signing, then the ratification, being into law. I would dare say that organizations and such like what we have in Antigua and St. Kitts must continue to agitate governments to enact these legislation, and not only to enact the legislation, but to actually enforce them. Not only to enforce them, but to see that they are enforced and maintained, because persons will become lax over a period of time. Government agencies such as social transformation ministries, I don't know what it's called in St. Kitts, but anything that deals with society must have a vested interest when it comes to persons with disabilities. Because at the end of the day, legislation is what drives society. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And if legislations are not there,
If it's enforced,
well, yes,
right?
it
If it's
it must be
enforced,
enforced. Yes, I agree.
if I interject at the risk of being rude, um, as far as I know, it's against the traffic regulations, the rules, so to speak, to park in a disabled spot. Is it
It
not?
is. It is.
Very simple example. But yet, every time, and I'm not exaggerating, every time I go to a certain supermarket, there's someone in the disabled spot. There is no disabled sticker on the vehicle. The persons who alight or go into the car don't appear to be disabled. I don't know if maybe there's a mental issue, but there certainly isn't a physical issue. And the security says nothing. And the police are driving around. They say nothing. I've seen it. I see it almost every time, and it annoys me every time. And there are one or two social media persons who take pictures and post them on Facebook. That's not my preferred route. But the point is, it's one thing to have it on paper, but if people's mentality is of such that they really don't care about anybody but themselves, what can you do?
Advocacy and education. And going back to the question that
Right.
Azim asks, I think,
You're
is
being a diplomat. Yeah, go ahead.
listen, look, at the end of the day, the organizations of persons with disabilities in each country, they must have or seem to have some sort of teeth, some sort of clout. I mean, Bernard Warner in himself can't do it alone. And I mean,
Right.
I've had many meetings with him, many meetings. And actually, he was the one who actually introduced me to some of the participants in my study here in NT. Um, and I must tell you, he's a warrior. Yeah, he's a warrior.
Yeah.
He can't do it alone.
Can't argue that. Can't argue that.
And his help must come
Yeah.
from existing legislations. Must.
Mhm. All right. Azam, you had a follow up? Azam, you still there?
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
hi. Oh, you're
so
on mute? Oh, Jade. Sorry.
yes, I'm still here as well.
Go
So,
ahead, Jade.
in your work, what have you recommended to the bodies who would be able to change some of these laws? What recommendations have you put forward to them?
Well, I'm not at the stage. Well, I just started my final module, and that is the findings, and then after that will be recommendations. So I really do not want to preempt that. However, um, I would say, starting from the issue of legislations, I think there would probably be one of my starting point, and that would probably be one of my sticking point. Um, is that the countries of St. Lucia and St. Kitts signed into law these legislation. Antigua has signed it. However, there is no enforcement. There's no enforcement whatsoever. And in a global study that I did as well, which is quite unfortunate, is that developing countries like ours are hesitant to sign in these legislation for what I don't know. You know, so developed countries, the UKs, the Canadas, um, Germany's, etc., signing these legislations are like easy for them because they take human lives seriously. And when you have an inability from a particular function to lift a bucket of water, to walk, an impairment of sight, a mental impairment, an intellectual impairment, these people are taken care of. Basic fundamental rights: education, housing, healthcare, and social inclusion.
Mm. All right.
That's the crux of the social model. There are other models, which obviously I will get into after I would have completed this initial PhD, that I would do postdoctoral studies on. They like the medical model, they like the cultural models. Um, but the one that affects us most, the one that affects individuals within developing countries, is the social model. So we must deal with that. And it is my view, and it is my intention, be that person who rattled that cage here in Antigua, in St. Kitts, and in St. Lucia, and in the wider OCS. That's my intention.
So, um, how many models have you completed? Just to be clear, you said you have one more model to work on. How many models
Yes.
have you?
Okay. So first year there was there are 4 dissertation modules.
Okay.
Each module is 6 months. In my first year, those were like research and thought modules. Very, very rough year, first year was.
Okay.
And it was rough because that was the time I did my surgery. And I had was to, be working,
Mm-hmm.
in some instances teaching as well, because I was at the State College within my first year. So just try and imagine going through pain unimaginable to the human mind and working.
And studying.
But
Mm-hmm.
I had a purpose and I really wanted to get this done. Because in my view, if not me, who? If not now, when?
Mm. You're philosophical as well, apparently.
Indeed.
Yeah, Azam, yeah. Question.
Well, I mean, I'm listening to you, and when again I get back to that percentage that is still kind of blowing my mind. But that seems like a big part of the population that, if organized, can really create a stir and get the attention of policymakers and such. But for those of us who do not identify as being differently abled, what role can we play in helping to bring about some of the changes that we see as necessary?
Well, that was one of the questions that a friend of mine asked a couple of years ago when I was thinking about um, doing this program. And the answer that I gave was one of us, or each of us, if not an immediate family member, we have some extended family member who have some sort of disability. And even if we do not have an extended member, we have some close friend or some friend who is suffering from some sort of disability. The thing is, when we think about disability, persons think about someone who's in a wheelchair, someone who can't, walk, an amputee. But there are other forms of disability, yes?
Right.
Intellectual, mental, not being able to see, not being able to hear. But these people are also marginalized. And even coming out of my study, one of the main factors is our own family members. The treatment that is meted out to these individuals, the care after they would have suffered their mishap, gunshot wound, accident, etc. The care that is given to them after their initial incidents, it's just horrible, extremely horrible. I mean, I wouldn't bring out some of those now, but after I would have done the research and everything and refined the whole dissertation. I mean, it'll be there for, and make sure that you guys get a copy. The thing is, people with disability are not treated generally, not just in the OECS, in CARICOM, but worldwide. And it gets worse in countries like Sub-Saharan Africa. You know, they really don't have anything to work with. And that is why the mortality rate of persons, especially persons with spine injuries, is so high. You are given literally a few years to live, depending on the severity and the trauma of your spine injury.
Wow.
And some of it is just persons just give up, literally just give up. Imagine you perhaps receiving a gunshot to your lower spine. You are completely paralyzed and have no one to help you. And when someone come around, is to give you some food and they put it at your door, and this is a family member, put it at your door and they leave. They don't know how you bathe. They don't know how you clean yourself. All they do is they come, give the food, they leave. These things do happen. Here in Antigua, in St. Kitts, in St. Lucia. So, what is society to do? Mind must change. Hence the reason,
it's a battle of the mind, do you think?
Yes.
First and foremost. Okay.
Hence the reason the social model of disability is perhaps the most critical of all.
All right. This has been very interesting. I hope it has moved the needle in terms of the conversation we have in our country about those who are differently abled. And I'm actually trying to pull up a WhatsApp. I see someone speaking about Mr. Bernard Warner, who is the president. Let me see. Correct me, Kwasi, if I have it wrong. But he's the president of the Antigua and Barbuda Association of Persons with Disabilities. Am I correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Right. So this person is saying that he has tried his best. He's, in terms of bringing light to these issues. But as you pointed out, he can't do it alone. So that is something. And someone is also saying referring to them as these people is in itself disrespectful. So that's just a little bit of feedback from some of our listeners. And actually, Kwasi, there's some people who actually want to get your contact. So with your permission, we'll speak off here, and if possible, I'll share your contact with them with your permission. I don't know if Jade and Azam have a final question for you before we wrap.
Okay.
No, I mean, I just really want to, to lend support to Kwasi. I think it's amazing what you're doing. Continue to do it, and good luck with your studies. Based on what we're hearing, I'm sure you'll be successful in obtaining your PhD, and we look forward to hearing more about what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Kwasi, this was informative, and it was also inspiring. Just the fact that you have, despite your challenges, despite the pain, the physical pain, which some of us don't deal with very well, you're still aspiring to make a significant contribution to the social and cultural and hopefully technological. I hope you don't drop that app development story. I think it's all part of the whole mix, if you will. So don't give up on that. Continue to do great work, and thank you so much. I must let the listeners know that you actually reached out to me, because I wasn't familiar with you, and you reached out to me on Facebook. So Facebook is good for some things, and fortunately, we've been able to make this happen, and I'm very happy that I did. I'm very happy. Thank you very much, Kwasi Tung.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you, and every good blessing. And I hope that, I've heard of different things about stem cell. I don't know if that might be able to help, or some breakthrough in modern science and medicine that might be able to alleviate your situation. That would be even more fantastic.
Well, that borders on the other model, which is called the medical model of disability. But I must say that I would have had a surgery which would have fallen under the medical model, and it has helped me. But without that, it would have been totally different. But thanks very much, and I do hope that we can speak sometime soon.
Yes, I suspect we will. We'll be in touch, my friend. All
Yes,
right, at least we know how to find each other. Thank you very
Right.
much.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yes, blessings. Azam and Jade, thank you so much. Everything okay in St. Kitts? Anything special happening this weekend before we wrap?
This weekend?
Not to my.
No, I mean, there's carnival events. There's Calypso 10s continuing, as well as the Carnival Queens are hitting the runway for a new event. It's like a kind of a Queen pageant runway challenge, something to that effect. So that's what's happening. But what was interesting this week, as it relates to St. Kitts and Antigua, and I must congratulate you, Darren, because now you are officially an envoy on behalf of Antigua to St. Kitts. Because we had a conversation here on air where we asked, if St. Kitts were to go to war with one of our neighbors, who would it be most likely? And some of our viewers thought it would be Antigua, and I was like, no. It wouldn't be Antigua. We have the regional link up here that makes sure that tensions between the countries remain low. So just want to say congratulations to you on the good work that you're doing in preventing.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. And apparently we have quite a following over in St. Kitts. All kinds of people reach out to me. Darren, we listen to you and Jade and Azem, and whenever Jade isn't around, and what happened to Kevin and all kinds of things. So apparently, we're doing something right.
For sure.
It's not easy to get products in this business. Everybody finds everything wrong and finds an agenda with everything you do. But it's nice to know that your work is appreciated. So
indeed. Things are good in Antigua, though.
Both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the most part. If we're relaxing the state of emergency on the 23rd or removing the state of emergency on the 23rd. Protocols will remain in place, though. So the Central Board of Health will have their work cut out for them in terms of making sure that people don't crowd and not wear masks and, not adhere to the protocols. But people are looking forward to the relaxing, especially going into the Christmas season.
For sure.
And we do have our ABST, what do you call it? Remember, we were talking about that and you were bragging off on me last week, remember? I remember. You remember, right?
I remember something.
We are quiet now.
Something like that.
Yes,
Something like that.
man. Yeah,
Something.
ABST. Cabinet has agreed to reduce the Antigua Barbuda sales tax rate from 15 to 5% on the following days. This will be December the 10th and December the 17th, and it continues. So Friday and Saturday, on those 2 weekends, ABST reduction days. It's not totally free. You still have to pay 5%. The government have to collect something, I suppose, to keep things going, keep the engine running. But yes, and I'm pretty sure a number of high-ticket items are going to be purchased during that time. Generators, cars, trucks, that sort of thing.
For sure,
I'm
for
itching
sure.
to get a truck, but I think I might get into trouble with certain people in my house. So
I got you.
but
The Minister of Finance.
Really?
The Minister of Finance. I got you.
Yes, exactly. How you know?
I know it is.
No, I'm kidding. There comes to that point where the man you want a truck that can just drive through anything. Yeah. A lot of my contemporaries have gotten to that phase.
What's
and they're
happening
trying
with
to nudge
Darren?
me over, but I'll see.
David, are you okay, friend?
What happened to me there?
Darren is great.
Are you
Yeah, I'm all right.
all right? Just
I'm
checking.
all right.
Just checking. What are
Just
you doing
bragging
this
about our
weekend?
ABST days. It's
I
like
mean,
you bragged last weekend.
I don't know why. If that's something to brag about, I mean, you're finally catching up. But bragging.
Jed, let them enjoy.
No, you're right. Let them have their good things.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations.
You're not nice at all. Yes, thank you very
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So you take good care, and we're gonna go. We have some messages we need to catch up on, and hopefully we'll do a preview of a program we're having on the weekend as well.
Oh, nice.
All
Alright,
right.
And my technical director has a message for both of you. You want to guess what that message is?
We're going to figure it out.
You're not gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
The
we're gonna
video. We want to be able to see you.
Oh,
I
you
think
guys
he
want
wants
video?
to see you, Jade. You're not happy?
No, that's fine.
to see
I
you.
understand.
I mean,
They could see us if they come to
You understand what-
if they watch Island Tea on Win Media SKN. I mean, we're live
don't be a
there.
smart mouth with me, Jade.
I know, I'm just saying.
I've seen that, but we want to see.
I'm
We
just
want to see
saying.
you
I
in
don't
the
know. I
link
don't know.
up.
If I don't know if you think Antigua's ready. You think Antigua's ready for Jade, Darren?
I think Antigua is ready for Jade
All right,
because
then.
anytime Jade does not appear, I get asked the question, "What happened to Jade?"
And then,
So Jade,
And they
you
can't
cannot
see me.
disappoint.
Suppose they see me.
You're a fan.
Oh my God.
Well, there you go. You've made our point. Great weekend. Be safe. God bless. We will see each other next week. Lord spare life.
all right, man.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye. As I'm being late to you, I am starving.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, you know what was happening as I was planning my day today, figuring out like how this thing and what can how I can juggle everything. You know, I forget to put in
Food?
food.
Yeah, usually.
I here now thinking to myself, how am I like
You just got to figure it out. You literally just have to figure it out.
I mean, really, like I put in I leave here, I going straight to do one thing, then straight from there to unfortunately to a funeral,
Oh no.
and then from there straight into work, and then work and go down till maybe like at 9-10 o'clock. I'm like, where food can come?
Yeah,
So you know what I mean, Jade?
you eating today?
No, you
As
got
mu-
you got to feed me. You got to feed me, Jade.
Well, you could never feed us.
Jade,
I always
Jade,
have to be the one feeding. Well, you
Jade.
could never feed us as him.
Jade,
You need to
have
give
I
me
not
sugar, man.
have I
Sugar,
not fed have I not fed you before?
Yeah, but ain't enough.
But
Ain't enough. You need to get this sugar mommy thing going
no, I'm working on it.
so we could have lunch.
You hear me had a whole big.
Delivered.
You see me had a whole big appreciation for the mature women. Not one message by.
Not one?
Not one message by. Ain't work. But you want me, Jade?
I'm gonna heart out your body.
I ain't here. But
Not even a message.
not
after
one
the man
message.
give
Not
me-
one message, Jade. I
after
think.
I had to sit through that. Wow.
Yeah, not one
Y'all let me
message.
suffer for nothing. That is amazing.
But we love you still, mature women. We love y'all still.
Yeah.
Not because y'all ain't want me. Y'all still are queens.
Want a restaurant today for a longer life tomorrow.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put on a t-shirt.
Take what good give life.
I'm put on a t-shirt as in.
You put on a good shirt?
Yeah, I love a restaurant today for a longer life tomorrow. See?
Wow.
So good it sounds.
No, Jay just out here dropping words of wisdom on y'all.
Wisdom.
Yeah, look at this here for free.
For free.
Yeah,
All
look
I
at
just
this here
do
for free.
is turn on the radio and turn on the
The stream, yeah.
the computer, open up the phone
And those words of wisdom rolling
for free.
for free. Wow.
We got some interesting interviews today, you know. You know?
Yeah,
Well,
we
I'm
do.
sure you know, because you would see.
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it. And so because the second half of this show is gonna be us having these amazing conversations, like any of the stuff that's happening in the world, like really catching your fancy. There's one that's catching my fancy big time.
Mine too, why? I saw it yesterday and I said, you know what? Just
Let me see if it's the same one. Which one it is? Is it about new?
yes. the word new is in it.
New? Right. To lie, you know, I think anyway.
I think the hell bent on killing us, you know.
No, Jade, these are the kind of things that make the conspiracy theorist.
Because as it would have been new.
No, but not only that, Jade. You realize this? You realize the timing of this? The timing of this happening at two specific times. It's happening at a time when everybody just like, time to open up, love.
Finally, freedom.
You hear Darren just said they're dropping their state of emergency. We're supposed to be dropping ours.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that it coincides with is the proliferation of the need for boosters. It's like it just seemed very
Suspicious.
like
I know.
coincidences does make me uncomfortable. That happened to you too? Coincidence that make me uncomfortable.
Especially these kind. But quickly, it says scientists warn of new COVID variant with unusual mutations. Oh my God. A new COVID-19 variant with an unusual constellation of mutations has been
32 of them.
Wow.
It's 32 of them, Jade.
You really wish.
I've been checking. I've been following it.
I know you see it and said,
I was supposed to send out something. Oh my God.
Well, it has been identified in Botswana. Why all this? Anyway,
No. Most of them haven't been coming out of Africa.
that's true.
This been the one. This been the one disease that like Africa kind of been chilling.
I know.
And now
I know the new.
when Africa come in, the thing, the thing turn up now.
At least 4 strains of the new coronavirus have been identified in sub-Saharan Africa. Quarantine Africa.
Across 3 countries, eh?
Quarantine Africa. What are we waiting on? Until it's spread? We see what happened in China? What are we doing? The B11529 variant is likely to have evolved during a chronic infection of an immune-compromised person, possibly an untreated.
HIV person, yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Yeah.
So this one start from AIDS.
No, but basically.
It mutated in somebody who.
Yeah. Somebody who's HIV.
So you're trying to tell me, right?
Because their immune system already compromised, and then they get a touch of the COVID, and COVID just was like, but in here jiggy, right? In here jiggy. Let's see what party we could drum up.
This ain't like not even one. This ain't sound like plenty movies we've watched.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. It is difficult to know what to make of the carriage of both. Why do they look like license plate numbers?
I don't know what they're doing with these names of these things. Yeah.
P681H and N679K.
Jade, let me inform you. He's having a story there. Let me tell the people what's going on. Basically, guys, there's a new variant that is very let me not say concerning, because because they remember there's two classifications for variants, right? Like variant of interest and variant of concern is in interest still, but it might actually get up to concern based on what they're saying, because there's three things that the scientists kind of like look out for with these things. One is how transmissible it is. Two would be how it operates with our response to like the vaccines and stuff that we have. And three would be, does it make people sicker? Now, the first thing, it don't really seem to make people real sicker as of yet. I may say sicker, I think they're comparing it to like Delta, which was the last mutation that just turned up the place. I think 90% of all cases worldwide is like Delta now. Yeah? Delta just take over everything.
Well, I mean, if you're the strongest strain, that's expected. Yeah. You just come in and go bully all the other strains and then move on. I ain't doing it.
Take over.
I ain't doing it right.
Well, you see what happened was, and that was the other. So the other two though is where things getting kind of tense, because initial thoughts are initial evidence is suggesting that it's going to be more transmissible than Delta. That's what,
you know, made him laugh.
But not only that, because of the mutations in the spike proteins. Remember that the vaccines, right? They basically train our immune systems to recognize COVID based on the spike proteins. So now that it's like 32 different spike proteins, there's concerns that the vaccine might not be quite as effective.
If you see how watch you out of the vaccine.
I could feel it, but I don't make up these things, Jade. I don't make up these things. New variant come, now they're trying to figure out, but this vaccine here makes sense. Hey, the rhetoric after this one, like, look, hopefully they could keep it under control and they don't get out.
Quarantine Africa.
But yeah, I realize that Europe gone crazy too, right? Europe turn up now too.
Well, you see what happened.
You hear them say, Massey, by next summer you're going to be 700,000 people dead in Europe from COVID. But hey.
As in, you know, that's us plus Antigua plus it's probably Sabo and Stacia. Who else I could add in there? Anguilla?
You could probably drop in Anguilla and send bats.
You know much people there?
Bye.
Okay.
I know how much people there, but some people can't even imagine that they're by.
Imagine if by
Yo. But you see, it's too by.
You could imagine a world where they have to come back out and say, guys, I know we tell y'all like this can work, right?
You know how jokey this unvaxxed conversation going sound if this thing is to really like play into the worst fears. I mean, there's still a lot of research to be done, so like we gotta wait and see.
Early, however.
But yeah, the initial evidence ain't painting a pretty picture, right?
Now, if y'all think about all the things that are happening, it's quite scary.
And you know they got Lambda, Delta, whatever. Like
it's so very strange, bro.
But you know, this one literally gonna be named new. It's literally named new. NU. Like new.
That's not just being creative.
I think they just
at this point they say, you know what,
let's call this one new.
At this point.
Let's call this one new.
At this point. But as we have to take a break because we have to jump into some interviews. Sorry to scare you guys so early in the morning, but you know, sorry guys sometimes. That's the job. So guys, stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Paint it, style it, improve it. Your walls, paint it. Your rooms, style it. Your home, improve it with huge savings at the Hoxford's Building and Nevis Center's Paint It, Style It, Improve It sales event. Come to Hoxford's Building and Nevis Center now and get savings of 25% off all paints, plus deals and discounts store-wide on home improvement items. Paint it with 25% off all paints. Style it and improve it with other deals and discounts store-wide. It's your home, so paint it, style it, and improve it at the Hoxford's Building and Nevis Center. Paint it, style it, improve it sales event. 25% off all paints and more. Come now, save big, and simply paint it, style it, and improve it. Event starts now and ends December 31st, 2021. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
I want it all. Protect yourself from the novel coronavirus. Wash your hands thoroughly and frequently for at least 20 seconds each time. Avoid shaking hands and touching your face with unclean hands. If you have to cough or sneeze, do so into your flexed elbow or a paper towel and then dispose of it. Keep a distance of 3 feet away from anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. Boost your immune system with vitamins, drink plenty of water, and get adequate rest. Visit your doctor, the nearest hospital, or health center if you or a family member becomes ill. A message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Island T, right here on Wind Media SKN, with your faves, Kevin and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwenny, Gwen, Idita, CPL, Crossland Crude, Martha Stewart Johnson. And we're here on this beautiful Friday morning.
Indeed. Indeed.
With a very special lady, very special friend of the show, Miss Jihan Williams. Jihan, good morning.
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 How are you guys doing? I'm very sleepy this morning, but I know you all usually give me a lot of energy.
Yeah, look at us.
Hey, watch your
Invigorating.
apparently OT is caffeinated.
Yes. I need some of that caffeine.
But it's funny because actually, the segment of the show is called Espresso. So, obviously,
Yeah, it fits perfectly.
obviously, it's exactly what you need.
Indeed.
All right.
But Jen, sometimes you come here, you're talking about all kind of things to do intellectual property. Sometimes you come here, you're talking about all kind of things you come here to talk about. And every time you come, like, it's just always something that is interesting, or our listeners always appreciate what you say. And I know this conversation will be no different.
Indeed.
You have some very interesting things happening in your life recently. Were you an author prior to just recently?
No.
So now you're an author officially.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
How does it feel to be a published author?
I think I feel really proud of myself for the fact that I did not have a clue as to how to get there, and then to take the process on pretty much self-taught, and then to see it actually appear on Amazon. You know, you can search for your name.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really. I feel really proud to get to this point.
Well, we're proud of you.
Indeed.
But for those persons who don't know, I didn't know, because Jihan actually wrote and published. It's self-published, right?
Yes.
Self-published. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Right?
Published a book. Could you tell us the name of the book, Jihan?
So the book is called Lifting the Weight of Miscarriage, Healing Insights on Pregnancy Loss for Sufferers and the People Around Us. I think your camera is here, so I'll just put book there.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
yes, perfect.
Product placement.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes. So it is a book chronicling my journey after losing my baby at 6.5 months pregnant. So it explores the physical effects, the spiritual effects, emotional effects of pregnancy loss, my pregnancy loss, and offers some insight into for people who perhaps may have never experienced it and how you could help. So you have statistics saying, for example, that 1 in every 4, or some say 1 in every 5 women will experience a miscarriage, or 1 in every 4 and 1 in every 5 pregnancies end in miscarriage. So when you hear statistics like that, it makes you see that perhaps either as a woman you have experienced miscarriage or stillbirth, or you know somebody who has. I think most of us tend to know at least one person who's been through that process.
Yeah, for sure.
So the book helps to, or the purpose of the book is to help you understand how you could support that friend or that family member or that partner, especially as a man too, as I'm.
Yes.
If you hopefully you never end up in that situation, but if you do, a lot of people say they don't know what to say,
Right.
they don't know what to do. So the book tells you and helps to guide you on things that you could say, things that you should avoid. Even gives you sample text messages you could send.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really hoping to bridge that informational gap that we have when it comes to pregnancy loss, on what to do and what to say, especially for people who have had pregnancy loss as well. What can you do to help your healing? I give you ideas of what helped me, and even go as far as to make recommendations to the state on how the state could help people who go through pregnancy loss.
Well, I mean, like you said, this is something that affects so much of us. I mean, obviously, in a very tangible and personal way for women, but just even men who support these women, who are friends with these women, who may have fathered the child. And so it even seems like what has been happening is that the conversation isn't one that is usually had.
No.
And I think that this experience that you had and writing this book really, like you said, fills that gap, right? Because I know personally, I've been in that situation where you really just don't know what to say.
Like, it's very difficult.
You don't know what your friend needs or what your partner needs.
And you don't
that
want
moment.
to ask because you don't want to come off as insensitive, or you just don't want to say the wrong thing.
But that's the cardinal mistake right there. Not asking.
Right.
That's exactly what you should do.
Right, just ask. Right?
Just ask. What do you need from me?
Yeah.
That's it. And if you see them struggling, I mean, you know your friend too. So you see them struggling. If say, for example, you have a friend who has a miscarriage and you see that they're depressed or they're having a hard time managing it, and you realize, okay, I could probably send some food so she doesn't have to cook. I could probably, take, if she has other children, I could probably hold them for a couple hours to give her some space.
Right.
Different things like that. And just ask her, what do you need?
Yeah. But Jenny, I mean, we started out by outlining kind of like what the purpose of the book is. And we actually just mentioned how necessary it is, right? But part of me almost feels like the process of getting to this physical thing in your hand, was that your intention? Or is it something that came out of your own healing? Like how did this become what it is?
It started from my own healing. Writing is always my preferred mode of expression, and it just started a day where I started writing down all the things that I was feeling. I was really scared. I wouldn't even sugarcoat it. I was really scared that something was happening to me mentally, because my anxiety was off the chain, like scared to be around people, scared to go out in public, that sort of thing. I was when I tell you, I used to feel this immense knot in my stomach every time I even thought about going outside. So I figured I would just start to try to write down the things that I was feeling, to help, not just to get it out, but to help me explain to other people what I was feeling as well. So down to the most morbid thoughts, down to the anger, down to everything I was feeling, I started to express it. And then as time went on, I started having experiences with people. Same thing, where you had friends that tell you they don't know what to say, or I reach out to you and I'm thinking, boy, Azem doesn't know about this baby, I lost the baby, let me tell him. And then your response is, I knew about it, I just didn't know what to say. That was very frustrating to me. Because here I am thinking that I should inform you that this happened because we're friends. And you stay away.
Yeah, and you already know you didn't reach out as a friend.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was really a really frustrating thing. So then I started saying, what would I tell people who say they don't know what to say? So I started writing those things down too. And then I started having certain experiences as well. Like on the due date, my due date was February 16th.
Oh,
and
a day before my birthday.
Pretty good month, actually. It's one of the best months.
That would have been, we were kind of hoping, because my mother is the 10th of February, so we're hoping. So we just having gone through that day, like what I was feeling, that's just how, that was my outlet. And the more I started to write, the more I realized, people need to know these things.
Right.
I can't keep telling everybody this every time somebody calls me.
That's a lot of talking.
So I thought that I should really try to develop it into something, and I am certain that I got a message from God. It was a strong spiritual message in me to just make this public.
Right.
Make it public so that people could have access to this kind of information. Even if it's just in St. Kitts and Nevis, but I never think just St. Kitts and Nevis in anything. So I just thought, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to find out how to write and publish a book, and find out how to get something on Amazon, and let's see how we could do it.
You realize this kind of making sense now? Fish is smart. You realize Jan was here a few months ago talking about
books,
about doing a workshop.
That was since last May.
Right.
I wasn't
in your
I
mind
might
at the
have been
time.
pregnant. I don't think so. I don't think I would have even been pregnant.
Right. So it's like the things just come full circle.
Yeah. But to be honest, right? Something that really had an impact on me is the cover itself. Like, if you look at the cover of the book and you actually taking the image and the name that goes along with it, it really like sets the tone of what you're going to read.
Yeah.
Azim, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. And yeah, it definitely speaks to the fact that there was a lot of thought put into it, and maybe even speaking to the fact that this is something that you were supposed to write, whether it is if this is part of your purpose or divinely inspired. It was something that needed to happen, and I'm really happy that it's here in physical form. It's not something that is just a
Left
thought.
in
or-
your notes.
Yeah. I didn't want to. I was really intentional about every single thing about this book, and which is why I chose to self-publish rather than trying to find a publisher. I didn't
Right.
want anybody tell me my ideas weren't good.
Right.
This is my thing, so I was not open to no negotiation with anybody about anything. So down to the cover, I just had that idea in my head, like people don't recognize this weight is heavy even though you don't see it.
Right.
And
Wow.
the idea of the clock on my hand, the clock pulling down my hand, because I'm 38. Yes, I'm 38. I sometimes have to think about it. I'm 38 years old now. Everything happened when I was 37, and you always have that 40 mark is when things
Yeah.
biologically start going downhill apparently. So you start thinking I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to hold up this weight, but time is pulling down my hand.
Right.
And I love that even people are noticing that the clock is set to 23 minutes after 11. I was that intentional about it because the date everything happened was the 23rd of November.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So I just really wanted to express that on the cover. I had no other ideas for the cover. I just wanted to make sure we could execute this.
During the time when you are now going through your healing process and thing, what did you search for something like this
Yes.
and wasn't able to find it?
Didn't find anything
wow.
that was relevant to me.
Right. right.
I actually didn't find many books like this about miscarriage, but then the ones that I found were, written by white female Americans, and I'm thinking I don't know what their situation is, but
It's hard to relate.
things are might be a bit different.
Right.
So I just thought I would do this. And again, this is another reason why I was insistent that my hair show in the picture
Right.
and my skin, so people understand that this is written by a black woman, and we have stories that need to be told as well. So not just fairy. I don't want to make it sound like that, but not just something that may not be relevant to the experience here in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And I'm really tired of us having to resort to US or UK statistics or resources. I mean, we're talking about this 1 in 5 pregnancies end in miscarriage, but is that the case here?
Yeah,
Do
I
we
suspect
know
it might
that?
be a bit different.
So
one way
we
or the
we
other,
don't know that, but we use
Yeah.
in their statistics
Right.
to guide us. And I really think we need to start generating our own statistics and our own resources to help our people with information that is relevant to them.
Yeah.
So like you read a book and you hear about people using the 401k to
Yeah.
for
And
pay
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
something
You
this,
know
and
that's
it's
not
like
here.
what's that?
Right,
is
exactly.
here.
So,
right.
Yeah, so these sorts of things we really need indigenous information and resources to help us.
I think it's important when we take in content that we recognize how important it is that it's relatable, right? And like you said, sometimes you can't relate to the stuff that you read. And
No.
you're looking, especially in situations like this, where it's very personal topics, where people are literally seeking something. Like you see, it's not. Oh, I'm just not reading it for entertainment or whatever. Like I'm seeking some sort of information or help or just clarity, right? And in those cases, especially, I think that it's important that the content is relatable, that you feel as though you see some of yourself in the material,
Yeah.
right? And I think that makes this just such an important book. Like we talk about it being timely, but I think it's very much important to the conversations that we have, to the experiences that we have, Because like I know those conversations aren't had as much as they probably should be.
Nope. It's I don't because again I feel like people don't know how to deal with situations like these. They don't know how to deal with the grief. They don't know how to deal with the loss. They don't know how to then have to comfort the
She spoke about reintegrating into society.
It is so
and which
difficult.
is weird to even think that it's like a reintegration that's
yeah,
about to
because
happen.
now you have to face people, and it sometimes could feel awkward. Not even just in this loss, but any type of loss. It's sometimes so awkward to have to see your friends after you took time off to heal and all of these things.
Assuming that you get time off.
Right.
to heal.
Even that.
Indeed,
even that,
indeed.
Even that, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, and not even just the woman too. And I always wonder, like in situations like this, like even the partners, I think,
or the possible siblings, or just the
yeah,
all around circle who are going to be a part of this experience. Boy.
There's a whole chapter in here called The Forgotten Fathers.
Oh wow.
Because the fathers really
nobody else take us on.
no the fathers really people forget that they lost a baby too.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
So
Precisely.
they're grieving too, and oftentimes the man in the story just has to step up and take care of the mother while grieving, and just there's no real space for him to even grieve, even in the immediate aftermath of things, because no, he has to be the one who's cooking or cleaning or getting medication or just taking care of everything else in the immediate aftermath of everything. Of course, while the woman is healing physically,
Right.
she might be at home trying to heal and grieving, but he had to go to work. He had to make sure, he had to wake up and make
Business
sure
had to be
that she had
Yep.
food
Yeah.
to be when she gets up and things like that.
Business
So
gotta be handled. Trust me.
so it's really, I think it's really difficult, and I saw the difficulty in my own situation where people would call him and ask him how I was
You're
doing,
doing right. Nobody cares.
and nobody was asking
nobody
him
cares.
anything.
friend.
Yeah, so
Nobody cares about
it's I saw it, and I was thinking, well, why nobody asking him?
Because I think
Because it's like she
Is
is
the
the one
person-
who has lost. They don't recognize that
Yeah.
he suffered loss as well.
I feel like they think about the physical more than the mental most times. So they put it all on the woman because
Right.
she went through the experience.
They,
But then
they
there's
think about the mental and everything, they just don't associate that with the man.
Oh,
A lot
Yeah.
of times they just don't associate it with the men because
they just assume that they're going.
they don't recognize that there was loss on his part as well.
Yeah, it's sad, and I've heard that experience from most men who I know who've been through the experience too. They feel forgotten. They feel like nobody pays attention, and even when people think about how to help the mother heal, resources aren't really extended to the man as well.
Not a dollar.
I was told that I would have counseling from the hospital, and I'm thinking like he probably needs it too.
Yeah.
So
real talk.
that
Real
sort of thing, I think, is we need that sort of awareness as well. The fathers are grieving as
Fathers
well.
are grieving.
We really have to get out of this context, like men don't care and they don't have no emotions and they don't feel anything. That's the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah. And it's a very traumatic experience. A very traumatic experience
For everyone
for
involved.
everyone involved.
Yeah.
For everyone involved. Right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't know where the time gone, as usual. Every time we have you in studio, time just flies.
Yeah.
But for people who are interested in finding and reading your work, let them know where they could see it.
So the book is available on Amazon. The book title, you can search the book title, Lifting the Weight of Miscarriage. The subtitle is Healing Insights on Pregnancy Loss for Sufferers and the People Around Us. So you can search for that on Amazon. It's available in paperback and Kindle version as well. So if you're a Kindle person, it's available. A lot of people ask about the audiobook, but Audible is not available to us here in St. Kitts and Nevis to publish. So I'm trying to see if we could find ways around that. But it's available on Amazon. Locally, I have copies. I'm trying to get copies in certain places, so I'm working on that. Last time I gave up my number on air, somebody called me and asked about bail.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
But
Yeah, this is what you need to do. You need Instagram, Diane. No personal Instagram for stuff like this.
yes, I have there's so you could find me on Facebook, Jihan Williams. That's the same on Instagram. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Jihan Williams, and I have a website, jihanwilliams.com. So you must be able to reach me on those platforms.
Yes.
And there's always williams.jihan@gmail.com.
And please, people, remember this is not for bail. This is not our forte.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so yeah, just send me a message and we could talk and arrange. I've gone all across the island, and I have persons in Nevis selling as well. So next step is getting local vendors, and then we're branching off to Antigua and
For sure.
some other islands as well.
Sounds good to me.
Well, Jen, I must say that I'm proud of you.
Very much so.
I think this is so amazing. And I really just wish you all the best on this. And I actually, let me tell you something. We didn't mention it, but I also do love the name of your publishing company.
Yes.
You want to say it for those listening?
Yes. So the book was published by Bouncing Daughter Publishing.
Boom bang.
Yes, for being the daughter of the man called Bouncing, known as Bouncing, and also being a daughter who just bounces from intellectual property. We talking about health. We talking about all sorts of different topics. I refuse to be boxed into any one thing. So, and I think we tend to try to box ourselves. I'm not in the boxing thing. I bounce, and I don't mind bouncing either.
All right.
Love it.
Love it. But it's always a pleasure, Gian. And again, congratulations on your book.
And it's only $35 EC dollars.
What?
So
Give me 2 days.
so we it's accessible, and so if you're interested in getting your copy, just reach out to me, and we'll get it done. We'll get it to you.
Awesome. Well, guys, that was Jihan Williams. And of course, guys, support. And if you personally may not be in this situation, we all know someone that does this. The holiday season is coming up. I think this may make a good gift.
I agree.
Somebody just messaged me and asked. Okay, cool.
So this might make a good gift. So guys, go out, support. All right, guys, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with more Island Tea right here with Media SKN. Stick and stay.
Thanks.
Taste the real Fruta. Enjoy the real Fruta. Refreshing juice of every day. Whoa, Fruta. Drink the real Fruta. Your favorite Fruta. The natural taste is Fruta. Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta. Enjoy the real Fruta. Refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Jade, behave yourself, no girl.
Yeah, hear the song, boy.
You see it?
Stop interrupting my groove.
Sorry, I apologize. But guys, we are back right here on Island T on Mid Media SKN with your faves, Kevin and Azem, featuring Jade, who wouldn't start walking up in the people chair.
Right. Right.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, if you want to know why Jade is in such a good mood right now, it's because we're listening to one of the new songs from the Dangagan himself, Mr. Nicha B, who is right here in studio to talk about his new music and his new EP. Nicha, what going on?
Good morning to everybody. Morning to all the listeners out there. Morning to the Morning Tea fans too.
Yeah, but Nicha, every time you come here, it's vibes, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time you come, we spoke about your career, the things that you had been doing and what was upcoming. And at that point, we was in the middle of the pandemic and things was low and all of that. But here we are, and you have not just one song for Carnival, not just two songs. You have a whole EP, hits, new, fresh music for the people. So what is it that's going on with Nicha B right now?
Well, we've been out of the industry for a little while, but not saying that we had stopped singing, but we've been working on music. And everybody know when it comes to music, you know, sing. You got times where you have to network, times where you got to do fall back and just rebuild and, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I went through the process. Just the other day, me and Dejo was talking about it, and he was like, Nicha B, you see, I went through the process, like, and you come back hard. He said, man, if you realize me ain't doing nothing like right now because I see you do it and I work out, yeah, I gonna fall back and just reboot myself, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's good to just take a back seat and just look on, you know what I mean, and catch back the vibes, because you can't always be doing, you're gonna wear out yourself, and something it might stick you in a realm that you're really trying to exceed out there, you know what I mean? Because you get so comfortable in that.
Right.
That you feel like, oh, you made it, but then you gotta step back and say, okay, then one next Nicha, because you don't never get from point A to B with the same plans from B to C. You get me? Everything can change all the way. Every time you make a step, just prepare yourself to do more.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
but you take planning, like you're saying.
Yeah, you take planning and strategies to, you know what I mean? Because as you say, every year somebody come out. Every year next artist come out and he gonna change the game.
Right.
So we job is to try find back whisper between these new upcoming artists, you know what I mean? Because it's the generation really does own the music, you know. So the younger ones, them coming up with the different slang, the different trends, them. So you gotta be in kind of open-minded person and say, okay, I'm Nicha B saying it, you gotta change your music. But if you keep doing something, you ain't gonna know what you're doing, you understand?
Right.
Like people will say, when you're in the circle, you don't know what you're doing. The person outside is standing up to see everything.
Yeah.
You could calculate all your wrong steps, your wrong moves, and he could move after that, you know what I mean? So this is what the stage I was going through in my life. As everybody know Nicha B to be this controversial artist and always in something, but it's been a while me and get myself in that kind of stuff, and I just really, really try my best to avoid stuff. People might see me moving on type of way, but it ain't really that. Me like people, I mean, this is just that what people done been doing to me all the years. I just try to say, Nicha B, to do focus on your music, stay in your zone and do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing. Trying to find myself and who I really want to be as a person and do my music, you know what I mean? So I just want my music speak for me. I just say, I enjoy the music, and everywhere I go getting good feedback from the EP really. Everybody get a favorite one.
No, that EP is
but I got all favorite. All of them is my favorite.
it's like children, you can't pick no favorite.
No, because each song I did is like from a different high point of my life, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So when I was here in Trinidad, the good of me come to me because of a situation. So I could do a song named Good on Me, and because when you're in the fit, you just something that feels so good on you want to leave, but then
Soca Love song give me that that give me that vibe. So I said, what are you singing about, boy?
it just made me know, but and then the playback now is like me love for carnival. People say like you talking about a girl? No, I was talking about like me love for carnival, and so she was me love what I'm talking about. I wanna just playback parts. Like she like my favorite song. I just wanna over and over again.
Over again. Yeah.
Really talking about soca music and carnival at the same time, you know what I mean? But they're just saying how creative the music could be still, and these the things that I had to sit back and do, because before you should just do it because people like me, but now I just try to do it to set a standard in my own book, in my own zone, not really with anybody, but I try to set a standard for myself and then try to break it again and then try to set it and break it again. So ain't gonna never happen overnight. You can come with me little ups and downs, and then we're going to catch it again, and then we're going to fight for it, and we're going to catch it again. So the whole point about it is just being consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was I wasn't lacking that. I don't may want to say that, because I was networking at the same time, when people feel like, oh, he ain't doing nothing. That Can't Wait song stick me in a realm for a long time, because the song's still going as we speak. People still want me come places to perform Can't Wait. Like Kevin Little guy, he sang Told Me On, and he still does perform Told Me On, and there's another song since I got in high school, you get me? So
till now.
I had to really like think about the next move from Can't Wait, you know what I mean? And then I said, man, it should be, if it ain't gonna be one song, it's gonna have to be a couple songs, you know? So
listen, I went to the EP, and what I meant to say was Pause gave me like a soca love song vibes. I feel like every time I clicked onto a different song, I got a different vibe.
Vibe.
I actually wrote them down because I was like, okay, yeah, these doing it for me. Like Fire Soca.
But before you do that, Jade, let's just let people know. Firstly, how many songs on the EP altogether?
Humble, because the EP name Humble, right? So Humble, Good on Me, Miss That, Walk It, and Fire. And Pause, I think in Pause we play 6. So we got 6 songs.
We got 6 songs, 6 bangers on this thing. So you're saying, Jade?
But I don't know. That Fire, you know when you're in a fet, right? And a particular song hit you, like this is when the fet then started there a good while, and your friends them a little, you know. And that one song just make you start to do that kind of mystic bound.
Yeah.
Listen, this EP put me in a mood. I'm not going to lie.
But Nicha, I think so the goal wasn't to do an EP, I'm suspecting. It's like
no, it was not.
You were experiencing life, you were hanging back, as you're saying, working out your next ways, and as the songs come, you'd record?
Yeah.
Oh, so then at this time now, you recognize, but I have a body of work
and we just embedded it together and just instead of putting out a single now, MJ we just come and just put everything together in one EP and push out the music, you know what I mean? Because we've been doing music for a while, but
and people hungry for the music there, you know.
Yeah,
Let
man.
me tell you that.
Been holding back. And I just fed up of holding back now, you know what I mean?
It's time to release now.
Yeah.
Time to release. I think that's what a lot of artists were in your situation, where you're, because of the pandemic, just because of where they're at personally, you know, they might not have been pushing like just music in the way they were pushing it. It didn't mean that they weren't working.
Yeah.
It just, you know, the music maybe wasn't releasing, they're recording, they're working on a new sound.
Yeah.
They're doing what, you know, and then we're at a place now where things seem to be opening up a bit, and the truth is the fans them want music.
Yeah, for real.
Fans want music. So it's like it's almost like things work out in a way where it's like you have the music for the hungry fans, because like you're saying, you're getting the kind of feedback that you know people appreciate what it is you put out.
Actually, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, Kyle, and he was telling me, man, Nicha B, like couple years now since you sing Can't Wait, I've been listening to rap here. Nothing with soca. Just last night we had this conversation and he said, yo, you really wake up that soca spirit inside of me, like King, like you make soca sound different, me boy, like your soca music ain't like this the same old thing, drink rum, bend over thing, like you got meaning with your music, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
and
you
that will
can
bring
feel
back
it, you
that will
can
bring
feel
back
it.
that soca voice for me, like couple of my parents and them man so who don't really listen soca, the man into that, I got some yardy virgin woman say, Nicha B, me don't listen this, but me know something you do to the music. Yeah, it's by just that we didn't really start singing soca, we used to sing like dancehall and more conscious music, where I still do my conscious music. So it's that kind of spirit still in me, like we could do that through soca, you know what I mean? Like that's finding my own zone in the soca world still.
But I think that is what's so important. The fact that it's not a matter that you're trying to latch on to some trend or something that, but yeah, that song they hit last year, let me do a song like that.
No,
like you always seem to just bring yourself
my own
authentic to the music, and I think that's what I resonate with people.
Yeah,
all the songs sound super different. Like you could hear your you could hear you in it, but it's just different types of soca in each song, which I really appreciate.
It's a complex man.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Because most times when people do soca songs, like all of them have the same type of trend to them, but you can find your song on
that's
the
a
EP.
fact. That's a fact, Jade, and that's one of the main reasons why you see me sit back, because all these beats I had a say in the beat. All them beats I had a say in the beat. Like it started off from me in my head, all them beats there, and then I say, you know, let me add a little melodies to the beat them now. Like it was just like I just know I wanted the sound I wanted, you know, but then after that, then we create a melody behind it, and then as you could see, what happened, you know. So it's like I know I wanted. It's just for me to sit down with the person and say, but this is how I want it sound, this what I want, this is how, this put a sound here, put this here, take the ping from there, take all the iron from there, make the iron a bamboo. Like I change up the sounds them, you get me? So it's the same music, you know, but we use different instruments for. When you listen for the cowboy again, cook, it's a battle, it's something else going on, so we change on the sounds them, so and it's get a more
and it's you, like it coming out of your inspiration and what you're feeling, so you can always resonate, because now when you sing on it, that's the next thing I do, as him is a witness to that. I just try to sing and beats where I could sing hard a lot and then it break my voice. So I just find me relax point before I come and sing on a beat. So no matter who playing it, what playing it, I could always sing on it, because I just try to find a relax point. When we used to sing first, I used to shout a lot. Like you know, and then listening back all my music, I said, by nature you could just do certain things as backing. So what you used to do as a lead, do it as a backing now. What you used to do as a backing with all the melody, bring it up to your lead. So basically, we just do the same thing with the music. Right.
And who listening as an artist, they could just try the remedy. Whatever you use as your backing, bring it up as your lead, take your lead, put it on as your backing. You can bring a whole different sound to your music, you know what I mean? Because we just do more in the backing than we do in the lead.
A lot of times, you're right.
Yeah.
But Nicha, I fed up a lot of talking. You want to hear some music?
You want to hear some music?
Well, we could play here that we love. And we want to play a piece of it. We missed that.
Yeah?
Yeah, what tell the people about that.
Well, basically, when we used to go a lot of carnivals, we couldn't wait for it, so I think we can't wait for something. But no, we ain't guying it for and it really hit me now. Like, we ain't really guying nothing for trouble, we ain't doing nothing. And I say, let me see who could tease if I sing a song, say, we missed that. And maybe we might even change the chairman, the
task force and
the task for the big man for the task force. Tell us about
Well, I listen to this song, you know.
Yeah, so we were just talking about the things that we miss of Carnival, and I tried to embed everything in that 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes song. Like,
how you feeling
I don't know how
it,
you accept it, but I try to put in everything. The walking up, the jumping up, the landing and the gong. But in a imaginary way where you gotta just put yourself into the song when you're listening. You know what I mean? You can't just listen to the beat, you gotta go into the song.
Right. We got, without further ado, Nicha B. We missed that off his humble 2021 Soca EP. We missed that. You just take the rest of the time and I play music, yeah.
Yeah.
But this song here, I think it really speaks to the heart of a lot of people. A lot of people miss that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people miss that. But who was some? I know I got big up my boy Steady one time.
Steady make that beat.
No, Steady make that beat.
I was actually home going to do something and Steady called me and said, Nicha B, I'm making a beat right now, yeah. I want to hate you. The man was like, tung, tung, tung. I said, come in, boy, bro. That was magic from there.
Yeah.
For real, Steady. For me, do that with Steady. They watch me different as him.
Yeah.
And I do play the band with I all the time. Steady does. His brother does call me now on my phone. Yeah. Brother, what you do? His brother, we don't know. Call him and say, bye. You're bad, yeah.
Bye, Nicho, let me tell you something, right? You know how you stay.
I know you're me, I know me.
Watch
Me,
I
just chop it up all the time.
right? Like, bye. The man talented, like, differently, you know?
Yeah.
Watch here, Nicho. And it's all before. Remember, we work on feelings together, right?
Yeah, me and you to just sing for precision already too. People ain't even know we don't do them kind of works there too.
But it's even before that, brother, like, undeniable talent. There was anybody who work along with you writing this song, anything
this
like
one?
that? Yeah. We missed that. This was all you and Steady.
This was me and Steady. Steady make the beat and I just chop up my song.
Boom bang.
Steady just tell me, boy, do what you want, yeah. And that will give me the kind of that relaxed vibes to do my music because Steady doesn't man don't push me or rush me or Nicha B, whatever you want to do it. And that always does the music does come, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But of course, I mean time running out, but of course we got questions that we got to ask. People wanna know. So come and ask you in it or you're in the race?
I in it.
I Okay.
Man in the race, the man in the race.
I hear him.
I come in with 2 songs. The one you just play and I do one just release like a day ago called Fire. Many think we start promote it so
Fire
much.
Soca?
Yeah, that's Fire. Yeah, that's
just named Fire.
Oh,
Fire.
This one then, okay.
No, that's it.
That's for the power.
That's it.
This one here?
That's it, Jade.
You sure?
Fire.
Nicha B Fire. We putting in that for this.
Yeah.
That when putting in the walk it.
This
Walk
was-
it.
okay.
Is it ding 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 ding
Hit them a quick one.
Can't do that, can't do it.
Alright, well, we play it.
Yeah.
Boy, listen.
Yeah, so we come for soca man.
That's it, just stage bond and everything.
The bear ready.
Oh, by coming on the stage, that's for your suit.
Watch you, you got.
For your suit, I'm base here.
Watch you. Many want say too much, but hey, the bear move when I kick. You got a part for your 1 month foot. You better move. I got support for the fire and my foot.
Boom bang.
They gonna move for 20 foot. From my foot.
Just watch your locks.
You hear me say I'm coming up for your suit?
Yeah. But yeah, this is my next contribution to soca man.
Yeah, but
it's called Fire, so we just come bring a positive fire in the place. Not fire to destroy nobody else. The music is fire.
Yeah.
You know, we use the word fire in a lot of different terms, and I don't want people to run with the negative part. The fire mean like the music is fire, the rhythm is fire,
right.
The vibe is fire, like everything just it up, it heated, everything
heat.
Yeah, we bring the fire, you know what I mean? So that's how we basically mean nothing else but that.
Ah man, but Nicha,
Just be a vibes.
I'm looking forward to those performances.
But it's the first time I do power music, as you know this.
Yeah, this ain't that ain't normally a thing.
Never
but
do
vibes though.
Never do power music.
But
I
vibes.
am ready.
It's vibes, boy. I'm going to be looking forward to.
Indeed.
I want to hear this on the big system too.
Boy.
Can't wait to hear.
Boy.
I can't wait for us to start practice these here.
Yeah, you know, it's problems, yeah.
Yeah.
Why practice?
You know, don't worry, you don't come in the landing.
Yeah.
That's fine. Once I can hear it, I good.
Yeah, but Nicha, I mean, yeah, like you said, I would love if you could just sit here all day and just watch these music and thing.
Yeah,
but you know, time is
we got
always
more
limited.
time we could come back and chop up the rest music.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Of course. Part 2.
All of a sudden, my schedule turned different from the desert right now in the Times Square. I can building in front of my face now. So, you know, we go, when you do music, good music, that's what the energy just following. You know what I mean? So
that's what it is.
I just gotta give thanks and praise to the Almighty for these kind of blessings, you know what I mean? For blessing me with a talent that has blessed me and helped me to be able to bless my family and people around me, you know what I mean?
For sure, direct.
Yeah, just so I big up my fans them too. So just keep locked and still log on to the morning t-shirt too also, cause you don't know that's a part of the journey, yeah?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But guys, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing week. Jade, I had fun this week.
I had fun this week.
Yeah, I had fun this week. And you know, ending it off on a good note with the Dangagan himself.
Boy, I go jump up here.
But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being a part of what it is that we do here. We could not do it without you. Any of you guys who log on Facebook, YouTube, you check us out on winmedia.com, or you listen to us on the radio. We really appreciate you so much. And yeah, keep calling, keep commenting, subscribe, share, like, turn up your radio loud. You understand? So people know what's going on. But guys, we're gonna have to go. And remember, we're gonna be back here on Monday, same time, same place.
Indeed.
Yeah, don't be late. When class call in, find your class. You understand? When school call in, find your class.
I'm telling you.
But guys, remember, spend more time living your content than posting it. And of course, you can't be everybody cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys on Monday.
conversations that you would have had. And that is what Your Views is all about. If you missed this program, you can go on Win FM Facebook page and look for Your Views. Normally, the program is saved, so you can go back to it and listen to it a second or a third or a fourth time, how many times you want to listen to it. I told you it's Confusion Friday. Everything is chaotic around here, but guess what? Through the storm, we always find a calm, and as long as we get the information through, that is all that is necessary. You know, you just feel strange not hearing that. It's amazing how much effect your theme song have on you. It tends to make you, most of the time,